everyone, my name is Florian Puhani. Welcome to My Creative Training Hacks. I haven't had many requests yet, small wonder after only 3 videos so far, so it is all the more important to me to show my appreciation for those questions and requests I already got. Therefore I have postponed the longer video I was already working on and thought about leg training hacks instead, because that's what Bold Cafe had asked me about. Thank you for your request. Let's see what I can do. Also, thanks to TK for your question about a rings weight split. Sorry I couldn't really help you there, but at least your comment inspired me to the invention of a possibly new training device. Goblet squats on gymnastics rings, or rather one gymnastics ring. Wait a minute, is this the same dumb joke as in the last video? No, this time it's actually the real deal right from the start. My wife doesn't like the goofy stuff anyway. Meet the Ringbell. I have to admit, that doesn't sound like a device, rather like an action. Something you should do in order to get notified about my next video, for example. So if you think of a less elusive name, please write it in your comment below. With the invention of the Ringbell, I first and foremost tried to make goblet squats less upper body and more leg dominant. But then I realized my contraption also eliminated several other problems inherent to conventional goblet squats. The first one may not concern you though. If you are a billionaire with a 5,000 square meter home gym in your castle, or if you're lucky enough to have access to a specialized kettlebell or strongman gym. But kettlebells and dumbbells, like you would normally use for goblet squats, have tremendously high acquisition costs. Even each kettlebell or dumbbell on its own costs significantly more than the same weight in the shape of simple plates. But you would also need a whole rack of dumbbells or kettlebells, whereas you can combine plates of various numbers and sizes to provide different amounts of weight. Just watch my short warm-up montage here. 10 kg, 20 kg, 30 kg. All I needed was 3 plates, each one 10 kg. That makes not more than 30 kg overall. A 10, a 20 and a 30 kg kettlebell would amount to twice that much weight together, 60 kg, and probably triple or even quadruple the cost, depending on the workmanship. Oh, and there goes my 4th warm-up set. Let's see what you need besides the plates to assemble a Ringbell. Basically it's just one gymnastics ring with its strap and one carabiner, big enough to not fit through the holes of your plates. One of those, even the hardcore deluxe models, won't cost you more than a few bucks. And a pair of gymnastics rings isn't very expensive either. If you come from a calisthenics background, you may already own them. And if you are heeding the advice of the awesome Daniel Vadnel, you also incorporate weight training exercises. So you own some plates as well probably. Now all you need to do is lead one loop of the already closed ring strap through the holes of the plates. Then tighten the strap and stack the plates on top of each other with the carabiner at the bottom. Adjust the length of the strap. Place the buckle at the side and the ring on top of it. In order to profit the most from this exercise variation, you have to experiment with the length of the strap. As a rule of thumb, in the deep squat position, the bottom of the ring should be at about the height of your neck, with your arms clutched tightly to your chest and your forearms almost perpendicular to the floor. If the strap is too long and the ring too high, you will have to slightly open up your arms, which will cost you stability, rendering the exercise less effective. However, especially if you are male, the strap shouldn't be too short either. Nearing the top position of the exercise, the plates will get in contact with your thighs. That can't be helped. But you really don't want to pull them into your private parts. so make sure your Ringbell has a long enough handle to prevent that. How long that is exactly depends on the height of the weight stack and the diameter of the plates. Don't hurt yourself just for the sake of a few extra centimeters of range of motion. If your plates have sharp edges around the holes, you might want to buy one extra piece of equipment so the ring strap doesn't get worn out. That's a short round sling, also very inexpensive. You get it on the internet or in your local hardware store. And that brings us to the next advantage of the Ringbell. You can conveniently adjust the weight, even in very small increments, if you thread the plates on a round sling and put carabiners on both ends. Just to demonstrate it, let me build you a 61.75 kg Ringbell. I really doubt you will find a dumbbell or kettlebell of that weight in any gym anywhere. Not that you necessarily needed one. But small weight increments can be really conducive to your motivation, especially when it comes to improving your personal bests. They can also prove useful if your training progress got stuck on a plateau. Now let's see why the Ringbell variety is much more suitable for targeting your legs than all the conventional versions of the goblet squat. If you hold a bigger kettlebell or dumbbell in front of your chest, its mass center is on the level of your toes, as shown by the purple arrows. So your overall gravity center is significantly shifted to the front, pulling you into thoracic flexion, which is the bane of all heavy leg training. Compared to a bulky kettlebell or dumbbell, the slender gymnastics ring allows you to hold your hands and arms much tighter to your chest, while the mass center of the plates is on the level of your metatarsus. That's where the green arrow is pointing at. So your overall gravity center stays closer to the longitudinal axis of your upper body, making it easier to keep the thoracic spine relatively upright and straight. For a better understanding how much tighter my body posture is with the Ringbell, have a look at the areas I have indicated by the red X's and the white on green check marks, respectively. Thus, your lower traps, spinal erectors and all your other core muscles won't give out before your legs are also fried. The amount of weight you can use on a Ringbell is also significantly higher. And I'm not talking about the usual scarcity of really heavy kettlebells or dumbbells. Because even if your gym provides those, let's say 90 kg, only exceptionally big and strong athletes will be able to perform goblet squats with it. I know for sure I couldn't. And I couldn't find many super heavy goblet squats shown on YouTube either. However, it didn't even take any specific training for me to perform one deep goblet squat with 90 kg on my newly invented Ringbell. Still, let me be completely honest with you. If you are a super heavyweight powerlifter who unfortunately just broke his barbell using too much weight on it, the Ringbell goblet squat won't be of much use for you. If, however, you are more of a calisthenics athlete who isn't entirely content with the body weight options for leg training and therefore looking for further alternatives, you might be in for a pleasant, but at the same time also really painful surprise. Because there is still one big advantage of the Ringbell I have saved for last. Like you will see in a minute, you can perform rest-pause sets with it, conveniently and above all, safely. In that category, the Ringbell goblet squat even has the edge on the king of all leg exercises, the barbell squat. With a barbell on your traps or shoulders, you have 3 options for the rest-pause intervals. You just keep standing, which even with locked out knees will cost you strength and put you in danger because you can never be really sure you are rested enough for another successful rep. Or you let the bar rest in the bottom position on a power rack. That may be safer, but also much more inconvenient, because you have to find your stance and brace yourself against the bar anew each time. Or you rack and unrack the bar for each rest-pause interval, which also gets increasingly unsafe the closer you get to complete muscular failure in your legs. Now, with kettlebell or dumbbell goblet squats for rest-pause intervals, it would be a quite similar scenario. You either keep standing, which is barely practical holding the weight in front of your chest, or you have to clean the weight again and again, which most likely would be the limiting factor long before your quadriceps get a chance to fatigue. In contrast, the plates on a gymnastics ring are lifted from the floor and stay very close to it, even closer than in a deadlift, during the whole movement, which makes it much safer than any alternative in any case. You definitely don't have to clean the Ringbell. Oh, well, maybe except that kind of cleaning. So, now I hope I've explained and demonstrated sufficiently why goblet squats with this new device could be useful for you depending on your training background. If you think I did, please leave a thumbs up and share this video with anyone who might profit from it. Consider subscribing to my channel. As you can see, the intervals between my video uploads are getting shorter. I am truly motivated right now, the more so as my last video did surprisingly well. Thank you for all your likes, subscriptions and encouraging comments. My name is Florian, and I will make an effort so that you don't get bored with your training.